This is Dave Clifford from Camera and Red Jasper, and I'm very pleased to say you're watching Live Prog.
Welcome to a new video review on Live Prog. My name is Marcel Haster. Very often I meet new bands and hear new music when I do my video reviews. But every now and then I get to do a review of a band that I am a fan of, a band that I have a lot of albums of. Well, here's one such band, Also Eden. As a matter of fact, my third video review ever, when I had just started, was a release by Also Eden. And I'd like to go back there a little while before I show you which album we're going to do now. The album then was, well, it was an EP actually. It was called Differences as Light. And back then they had the change up for a new singer, Rich Harding. And things didn't go entirely well. Not with the album, but with Rich. He had a pretty terrible accident and spent a lot of time in hospital. Now, if we look at today, things are going a lot better. Rich is doing very well. The band is even performing already, so things fortunately, well, turned out good, which is, well, very fortunate of course. And here we are then, with a new Also Eden release. Not just any Also Eden release, no, their amazing album, Think of the Children.
The grassy scent of early dew. Did we live far away from home? Was planet Earth a foreign land? How have we lost what we once owned and locked the cuffs on our own hands? Think of the children. It's all you can hear. Think of the children. It's a mantra of fear. Think of the children.
I was looking forward to this one because I was very curious what the next step would be. You know, Differences is Light. I still think it's an amazing album. It's an EP. I mean, only 3 songs, but nevertheless, it contained beautiful music. Well, I can honestly say, with Think of the Children, in my opinion, Also Eden have made their absolute best album ever to this date. You know, it's their third full-length CD, and when you listen to this one, you know, this is what progressive rock is all about. You know, incredibly beautiful melodies, a very intriguing theme, and the way they bring it, you know, gives each one something they like. You can just listen to the music, you can glance through the artwork to get an idea of the music, or you can really dig into the lyrics. But I have to say, I'll show you in a moment, but if you want to read the lyrics, the full lyrics of the album, you have to go to alsoeden.com, because they did not include all the lyrics in it, but enough to, you know, keep you thinking of what the idea might be about. Now, when I looked at the website, the album is not, they did not really present the album as a concept album, but you know, it's to everybody's opinion, to everybody's creativity, and I kind of think it is a concept album. When I listen to the music, it sounds like one long track. You know, you don't hear any changes between the songs. No, the songs flow naturally into the next song, which I like very much. And especially with this album, they are really, well, they are absolutely beautiful melodies. Really great work. There's been one lineup change. Drummer Dave Roelofs, who drummed on Differences is Light, is no longer a part of Also Eden. But they have a new drummer now, Lee Nicholas. there's something I want to show you, because when I saw the artwork and I looked at it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the visuals that Porcupine Tree uses with the song Fear of the Blank Planet. Now, if you've seen the show or have maybe the DVD audio, you've seen it. There you see a lot of children, contemporary children these days, that are completely, obsessed by their Xbox and by computer and video games. And well, if you look close, then you kind of see the same idea here, because you have this boy here with headphones on watching TV. Now, if you see the little detail, there's the Also Eden logo on the television, and I also noticed this here, it's like, the thing the puppeteer uses. I don't know if that's what it is, but that's the idea I got. But at the same time, you see on the outside, you see all the good things kids can play with these days. You see the teddy bear here. Now, this is of course the example of, well, how it should not be. But it is sadly the situation that kids are in. And although the album is not about the children, but more of what children often represent, the future, where we're going to, it is important that this is of course not good for the children, and that's why we have to be careful of it. But if we turn it on the back, and that's also on the back side of the CD, you don't have just the track listing here, but here you see, the kids playing outside and having fun. And that is, well, what's good for the children, of course. Now, I said that the album is not per se about children, but lyrically the album is based around a quote by Benjamin Franklin. That quote is, "Those that would trade essential liberty for temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Well, based on that quote, there you find the lyrics of this album. And there's a lot to find in it, and I really say you should listen to it yourself. You should take out the booklet. I mean, I have it out so I can show you the artwork on the inside. There are some sketches here, and there are no lyrics, but there are parts of the lyrics, enough to keep you wondering what it's about. And I gotta say, I found it very interesting. Now, something I noticed on the Differences Light EP, and I also mentioned in my review back then, something I'm gonna mention now again, Rich Harding has of course a link with Holland. As a matter of fact, he speaks and reads and writes very well Dutch. And on the Differences Light EP, there was a song called Oud en Nieuw, the Dutch version for New Year's Eve. And on Think of the Children, we have Cijfers, numbers, another Dutch title, and I like it that they do that, make it their own. That's their thing. And well, I must say it is absolutely a brilliant album.
I awoke one morning in 1949 to a sea of half-remembered faces tugging at my mind. They assaulted me with clipboards that the ministry gave out, and the voices in my head are pleading, what's this all about?
Not just because of the theme and the lyrics, but also musically. There's so much detail in it, so much textures in it. Beautiful guitar parts by Simon Rogers. Well, of course, the new drummer, Lee Nicholas, does a great job here, but also the one bass line by Steve Dunn. Ian Hodson on keyboards, providing that really proggy juice throughout the songs. And of course, Rich Harding. I really like to listen to him sing. He has a distinct voice, which reminds me a little bit of Les Dugan from Aragon, from Australia. But when I was listening especially to the song 1949, it kind of struck me how similar he sometimes was to Fish, and think of the older Marillion albums. So, well, he has a link with Marillion. Well, he I don't know if he still is, but he used to be in several Marillion tribute bands, so it's not a surprise maybe. But nevertheless, he has his own characteristic voice. You know, you hear the music, you hear him sing, you know it's also Eden. So I gotta say, I'm really happy that this is a band I have every release of, and I'm really thrilled to have this one because it is a stunning album, and I can only say this is a live prog must-have release. Also Eden, think of the children.
Blue ocean sees us drown.